Back to another Califaces video. When talking about the history of lowriders, there's so many names who could be mentioned. So many people who over the years have contributed to the art and history of lowriding culture. But Sonny Madrid and Lowrider magazine were the first to recognize that lowriding wasn't just a bunch of people driving customized cars. It was an actual community that should be written about, shared, and celebrated. Sonny Madrid was born Manuel Mario Madrid on January 19, 1945 in Yuma, Arizona. He was later nicknamed Sonny. As a teenager, he and his family moved to San Jose, a city located in Northern California's Bay Area. San Jose at that time was a farming community, and during the summer months, Sonny and his siblings earned money working on local farms. Working on a farm, Sonny learned at a young age about the poverty and discrimination that Mexican-American farm workers faced, and he looked up to labor activists like Cesar Chavez, who fought for farm workers' rights. After high school, Sonny enrolled at San Jose State University as a journalism student, and he himself became involved in activism, fighting against police brutality and challenging racial inequality in public schools and city institutions. One of the ways he did this was by writing articles for the school newspaper, where he would keep students informed on injustices that plagued the community. But Sonny Madrid's love for his community ran deeper than just politics. He also had a love for art, fashion, and custom cars. In between going to school and writing for the school newspaper, he promoted dances and events on and off campus. To promote the events, he'd make promotional leaflets to pass out to the students. And on the leaflets, he'd always put pictures of lowriders. The history of lowriders dates back to the 1940s in Los Angeles, California, when Mexican-American veterans returning from World War II began customizing their cars using mechanical skills they'd learned in the Army. This involved modifying the car's engines, painting the exteriors, and adding weights in the back to lower the bodies of the cars, creating a low and slow ride that was perfect for cruising. Lowriders became a symbol of cultural pride and quickly spread outside of Los Angeles to places like San Jose, where Sonny lived. And by the late 1960s, East San Jose had one of the largest lowriding communities in California. Sonny was a part of that community, and he made sure to represent it every time he promoted an event. And people loved the lowrider leaflets so much that they'd collect them and ask him to make more. That's when the idea for Lowrider magazine came to him. He would create a magazine that would unite lowrider communities from everywhere. Sonny borrowed money from his mother to launch the first magazine, and he enlisted the help of two friends, Larry Gonzalez and David Nunez. And together, the three released the first issue of Lowrider magazine in January 1977. The first issue of Lowrider, and the issues that immediately followed it, covered the entire lowrider scene, with photos of people from the community and pictures of their customized cars, along with music, fashion, and art surrounding the lowrider scene. The magazine also contained news stories about police abuse and coverage of mainstream media's misrepresentation of Mexican Americans. Through Lowrider magazine, Sonny was able to blend his two passions, successfully uniting his community through art and activism.
For the last 18 months, Lowriders have had their own magazine, published from a small office just off the San Jose State campus. Called Lowrider, the editor is Sonny Madrid.
In the U.S., it's supposed to be like a melting pot, and so everybody just blends in, right? But like with the Chicano community, and probably with Mexico being so close, it hasn't really been that way.
But promoting the magazine during those early years took work. The first issue was only available in San Jose. So to spread the word, the three men would hand deliver the magazines to corner markets, liquor stores, and car shows throughout the Bay Area. Then they'd drive 6 hours to Los Angeles and do the same, selling magazines out the back of Sonny's 1954 Chevrolet sedan delivery. Before long, Lowrider magazine had expanded to states outside of California. Everyone who owned a lowrider wanted to have their car featured in the magazine that had officially put the lowriding movement on the map. In 1979, Sonny made the decision to start featuring pinup models on the cover of the magazines. Despite initial complaints from both male and female readers, Sonny's decision greatly increased the magazine's popularity. Lowrider also began promoting its own car shows.
Lowrider cars. I didn't know what a lowrider was.
Low to the ground.
But we have two of them here with us, and the reason, of course, is the first annual Lowrider Super Show 79 is going to be at the Los Angeles Convention Center this Saturday and Sunday.
Over 20,000 people were in attendance. But in 1984, the magazine began experiencing financial difficulties. And by the end of 1985, it was bankrupt, forcing Sonny to release ownership. Lowrider was then owned by one of the original founders, Larry Gonzalez, and layout designer Alberto Lopez, before eventually being sold in 1997 to the Macmillan Argus Publishing Company. Under new ownership, Lowrider saw a dramatic change in its content. Although the magazine still covered cars, music, and fashion, its focus on social issues and politics was gone. But lowriding continued, and by the early 2000s, lowriding culture had taken on a life of its own. With the help of West Coast hip-hop artists who featured lowriders in their music videos, the love for lowriding grew across the world. And at one point, Lowrider magazine was the best-selling auto magazine on newsstands. Although Sonny was not a part of Lowrider magazine's success in those later years, within the lowrider community, he was a legend, and he stayed active writing for other lowrider publications and creating lowrider-themed artwork and photography. He also remained committed to social activism all the way up until his death. Sonny Madrid passed away on June 22, 2015. He was 70 years old. 5 years after Sonny's death, in 2020, Lowrider magazine was shut down due to a drop in monthly readership. But for 42 years, Lowrider magazine showcased the best cars, art, and music related to the lowrider scene. And while the magazine did change over the years, at its core, it always followed what Sonny Madrid started, which was to bring